Hey, what's going on, everyone? Hope you're all doing good and having a great day so far. Today, we're going to talk about something that's been confusing a lot of people in the farming simulator community lately. That mysterious update number everyone's been talking about, the so-called Farming Simulator 25 Update 1.22. You might have seen people mentioning it on Reddit threads, in Discord chats, or even on YouTube comments under gameplay videos saying things like, "Did you get the 1.22 patch yet?" Or "My game just updated to 1.22. What changed?" And if you've been scratching your head wondering what that's all about, don't worry. You're definitely not alone. Because this thing had a lot of players thinking something major just dropped. So here's the deal. There actually isn't an official update with that number. Sounds strange, right? You'd think by now we'd all be on the same page about what's real and what's not, but this confusion spread pretty fast because of how similar the numbers sound between different versions of the game. See, Farming Simulator 25 is the newest title from Giant Software, and it's been getting a steady stream of patches and tweaks since release. The latest official one is around version 1.13, released in early October 2025, and it came with some solid bug fixes, performance improvements, and a few gameplay adjustments. But nowhere, and I mean nowhere on the official Giants website, the changelogs, or even on SteamDB, does anything mention a 1.22 update for Farming Simulator 25. So where did that number come from? Well, here's where it gets kind of funny. Back in the Farming Simulator 22 days, the previous version, there actually was a patch labeled 1.22, and that update made some headlines in the community because it brought in new features and mod support improvements. So what seems to have happened is that some people mixed those two up. They saw the 1.22 number floating around and thought it was about the new game, when in fact it was about FS22. The names are similar, the numbers are similar, and if you're just scrolling past a post quickly, it's easy to miss which game someone's even talking about. Another thing that probably added to the confusion is how the platform builds work. When you're on Steam, Epic Games, or consoles like the PS5 or Xbox, sometimes those platforms label the versions differently internally. So you might see a build number or a file tag that looks like 1.22566789 or something similar, and people assume that's the game version when really it's just an internal build or mod file size. In fact, a lot of mod files show 1.22 MB or v1.22 in their upload titles, not because they're tied to the actual patch number, but just because that's their own version number or file size. And of course, the community loves to speculate. Someone sees a weird number pop up, someone else posts about it, and within a few hours it's spreading like wildfire across social media. Suddenly, everyone's wondering if Giants secretly pushed out a big content update or some kind of surprise DLC. But if you go check the official patch notes, the Giants forums, or even the changelog on farmingsimulator.com, the story is crystal clear. The most recent official patch is the one from early October, and nothing newer exists as of now. Now, I get why people were excited. Farming Simulator 25 has been one of those games where even small updates can make a big difference. Every patch so far has improved the experience in one way or another, whether it's optimizing how AI workers behave, fixing lighting bugs, or adjusting how contracts work. And the community's always hungry for more. Players want new machinery, better animal systems, smoother multiplayer sessions, and of course, the usual quality of life stuff like faster load times or less lag in big mod-heavy maps. So when a rumor starts flying about some new update, especially one that supposedly changes everything, people jump on it because they want to believe something big is coming. And honestly, that's part of what makes this community great. There's so much passion here. I've seen people spend hours testing new mods, fine-tuning their farms, building realistic layouts, and even creating cinematic gameplay videos that look straight out of a farming documentary. So when a rumor hits about a big patch, it spreads faster than a wildfire through a wheat field because everyone's eager to see what's next. But the key takeaway here is to always double-check where the info is coming from. Giant Software is pretty transparent with their updates. Every single one gets posted on their official site with a detailed changelog, and if you don't see it there, it's safe to say it's probably not real. Now let's talk a bit about what did come with the latest real update, because that's worth mentioning too. Version 1.113 was actually a pretty solid patch. It focused on performance stability and fixing those annoying little bugs that pop up during gameplay. Things like weird vehicle physics glitches or AI workers getting stuck on fences. There were also tweaks to how contracts and seasonal cycles work, and a few adjustments to mod support that made custom content more stable. It might not sound flashy, but for players who spend hours building and expanding farms, these fixes make the game feel smoother and more reliable. And if you've had any issues after an update, like the game acting strange, crashing, or some of your mods not loading properly, there's a good chance it's not the update itself causing the issue. It's usually a mod conflict. Mods are one of the best parts of Farming Simulator, but they can also be the most unpredictable. Every time the game updates, even a minor patch can break a mod or make it behave differently. That's why one of the first things you should do after any update is check your log file. If there's a mod that's outdated or throwing errors, it'll show up there. And trust me, fixing those can save you a ton of frustration later on. Another thing I've noticed is that players on different platforms sometimes get updates at slightly different times. So if you're on PC, you might get the patch a day or two before someone on console does. That timing difference often leads to confusion too. Someone says, "Hey, I got the new patch," while another person hasn't received it yet. And suddenly people think there's a secret version or an early release. But it's just how distribution works across platforms. Nothing shady, just different rollout schedules. The best advice I can give if you ever hear about a new update that sounds too good to be true is to go straight to the source. Check the official website, check the Giants forums, or even their official Twitter or Discord. That's where they always post the verified information. And if it's not there, it probably doesn't exist yet. Giants is really good about keeping their communication clear. They don't just silently release massive updates without announcing them. So yeah, to clear it all up, there is no official Farming Simulator 25 update with that number floating around. It's a misunderstanding that came from a mix of old patch numbers, mod versions, and people seeing internal build labels. The real current update is the one from early October, and it's doing just fine. But hey, don't be disappointed. Giants has a solid track record of rolling out steady updates and adding new content throughout the year. If history tells us anything, we'll probably see more official patches soon. Maybe even some DLC announcements as we move deeper into the season. So keep your eyes on the official pages, stay patient, and in the meantime, keep farming. Test new mods, share your setups with the community, and keep enjoying what's already one of the most polished farming sims out there. Because even without a mysterious new patch, Farming Simulator 25 is in a pretty good place right now. It runs smoother than ever, the visuals are fantastic, and with the modding community doing their thing, there's always something new to try. So that's the full story on that so-called update. Nothing major, nothing secret, just a mix-up that got a bit out of hand. Hope this clears things up and saves you from wasting time hunting for a patch that doesn't exist.